And there's a lot of reasons why this performance or this competition is so memorable. One of which is actually it's the last event, and I was the last competitor up for the US, and my music shuts off right about there. And fortunately, it didn't really phase me. And I think, like, I don't know, as a kid, you hear about, oh, when the music goes off, just keep going. And it had never really actually
Does it
happened to me.
happen? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of interesting that, like, on at this point, the biggest stage I'd ever been on is where my music shut off.
Right?
But as soon as I got past that first pass, I knew, like, it was just going to be a routine without music. And it was great.
Mm-hmm.
And I embraced it. And the team embraced it. And the whole arena
Yes.
embraced it. And, like, in a way, it made it more special than if I had done the most perfect routine with music, because now it's
Right.
this really cool memory that I have. And I was able to almost, like, slow down and really appreciate it more, because, with the music, you're so in the zone because it's just another routine out of the millions you've done. Whereas this one,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, was a little bit different, a little bit more unique, and I could actually hear the audience, which is something that is hard when there's, the music blaring in your ear when you're on the floor.
Yeah. That's so cool to hear.
The other reason this was really special is because I think just before this, I was at either Gymnix or World Cup in Canada, and just before that was in Texas for selection camp. So I had been gone for, or maybe it was Italy just before that. Anyway, I had been traveling quite a bit for different competitions, and I hadn't seen my family in a while. And my parents got to be here, and my sister and my grandma. So also just being able to, like, see them in the stands for the first time in a
Yeah.
while, because I hadn't been home, was also really special that they got to be there and see that with me.
Look how you look so happy right here, though. Is that genuine?
It was, yeah. I mean, I like I mentioned, like, I mean, I would still get nervous here, especially, competing for the US. I really wanted to do my part and represent the team well. But, this was really when the joy, like, of all of the hard work and the training got to, be paid off, and I started to appreciate the fans and the audience, and um, enjoy that aspect of the sport. Because before, I loved the training, but the competing would terrify me. And finally, I started to slowly shift into, this is why we train so hard. It's for moments like these,
Mm-hmm.
when, pressure's on, last event, so on and so forth. Like, that's when it's exciting. That's what we live for. And I finally started to slowly embrace that mentality. And this was, I'd say, right around the time when I started to make that shift.
Mm-hmm. Can we just look at something?
Sure.
How on earth? I'm gonna geek out, but seriously, this double front is not a typical spin and flip, and your feet are pointed. Your feet are pointed the entire time from the point in time you take off till just before they touch the ground. What the hell?
Yeah. Like I said, like, though, I was so obsessive about making sure I was always being as perfect as I could be. And part of that was pointed toes. And I would sit on my toes for minutes a day, just
Ugh.
trying to make it, the toe point that much more pointed. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be hard for me to flex in a skill, even if it, like, ended up helping me somehow, but I
Yeah.
just couldn't do it.
Oh, and your leaps are so gorgeous. So